Donald Trump is suffering bad, you guys. And one of the things that I've noticed is that the better things are going in the United States, the more Donald Trump is suffering. There's this inverse relationship, which is there by design because Donald Trump hates when America is doing well. Donald Trump has resorted to inventing fake endorsements. The grifting has just gotten out of control. He's getting crowds to boo our active military members. Really disgraceful stuff. We're going to dive right in. First, my name is Brett Meiselas here with the MeidasTouch Network. Remember to hit subscribe. We are on our way to 3.5 million subscribers. Okay, let's dive in. Donald Trump was in North Carolina where we just had Hurricane Helene happen, and Donald Trump, instead of talking about the needs of the people there, Donald Trump got the crowd to boo an active duty member of the military. Watch this.
I've never done this before. I'm an active duty soldier here at Fort Liberty, and I want to start off by saying I'm here in personal capacity.
You meant Fort Bragg, right?
Yes.
And one of Donald Trump's main priorities at this event in North Carolina was complaining that a lot of these forts are no longer named after Confederate generals. His entire kind of platform in North Carolina, instead of saying how he would help the people in North Carolina, was saying that he would bring back the names of Confederate generals to buildings and to military bases. I don't think that's their biggest concern right now, Donald. I don't think their biggest concern is also whether the chair is comfortable for you that you're sitting in. I'm not making this up. Donald Trump sat there and he just kept complaining that the chair was the most uncomfortable thing that he ever sat in, and he found a way to blame it on Kamala Harris. Watch.
I think I'm going to stand. This chair is the most uncomfortable chair I've ever. First of all, it spins. And the one thing I don't want is to fall on my ass, because that will be the only story. They'll say, sir, you did great. Too bad you fell. That would be the only story. So I'm not sitting in that sucker. I think it's a booby trap. That was put there by Kamala.
And of course, it's not a Trump event if he's not endangering the lives of migrants and telling vicious and xenophobic lies about them. Here, Trump says that migrants have taken over our hospitals, taken over our schools. He's getting really desperate. Watch.
The migrants have taken over our hospitals. They've taken over our schools. We don't have anything but...
Oh, and by the way, that infamous Springfield goose killer that all the people on the right were talking about, all these MAGAs were blaming the immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, the Haitian immigrants for. Guess what? It was a white guy, a 65-year-old white man who was hunting birds at a golf course. That was that one incident that happened there. And of course, they blamed that on the Haitian migrants who saved the town. Just so disgraceful. Every single day, more disgraceful. That's why I like when Kamala Harris at her event, and Kamala Harris held this massive event yesterday in Flint, Michigan. That's why I just like when she comes out and says, Donald Trump, you were the biggest loser. Watch this.
Making Donald Trump one of the biggest losers of manufacturing jobs in American history.
And Vice President Harris at this rally spoke about our economy and spoke about that great jobs report we received on Friday. Over 250,000 jobs created, unemployment fell, wages are up. But one of the things I like also when Kamala Harris speaks about these issues is she still understands that we could do so much more. Watch Kamala Harris here.
Look, our economy is making good progress. Just this morning, we got a solid jobs report, right? Over 250,000 jobs created last month. Unemployment fell. And just a few weeks ago, the Federal Reserve cut interest rates, which helps. But there's still more we need to do. Prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. And I have a plan on lowering costs on everything from healthcare to groceries, including taking on corporate price gouging.
And even Fox News was forced to admit that that was a pretty good jobs report. Watch.
We are back with a Fox News alert. The September jobs report was just released, and it shows the U.S. added 254,000 jobs last month. That's significantly higher than economists expected. And the unemployment rate fell slightly, now at 4.1%. And this comes with the election 32 days away, and the economy remains the top issue.
Wow, it's pretty amazing. So those are really good numbers, very good numbers. So you know they'll be talking about that
Better
in the
than
stump
expected.
today.
Yep.
And so, like always, when reality goes against Donald Trump, Trump has to change reality. So Trump is now making up these lies that Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, endorsed him. You could see this image. We'll pull it up right now. This is a complete and total lie. Donald Trump posted this on his social media account. And of course, his influencers, his propagandists on, all the other apps like Twitter and stuff started posting similar things. Breaking news, Jamie Dimon endorses Donald Trump. It was completely false. This is a total lie. And Jamie Dimon actually had to come out pretty quickly and say, no, I did not endorse Donald Trump. He is lying about me. And the sick thing is, this is not the first time Donald Trump has faked an endorsement. Remember when Donald Trump faked getting an endorsement from Taylor Swift using AI images of Taylor Swift and fake supporters, writing I accept over images that said things like Taylor wants you to vote for Donald Trump? I mean, this was just fake, completely fabricated, and this actually was one of the things that prompted Taylor Swift to come out publicly and endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. She addressed this exact issue head on in her statement. What else is Donald Trump doing? He continues to send out these grifting emails, and this is the most peculiar one that he sends this out like every day. He goes, Ben, and Ben's my brother who runs the MeidasTouch network with me. Ben signs up to these newsletters so that you don't have to, but that you could still hear what he's saying in these things. Listen to how crazy this is. Ben, I just released a brand new orange MAGA hat. This is the hat I would have worn if they threw me in jail. This is a symbol of the MAGA movement's resolve to never surrender. Claim your never surrender MAGA hat, and it's a MAGA hat that goes along with a jumpsuit. I guess at least he is getting prepared. I appreciate that as well. And this next video is just so utterly bizarre, but now they're selling these I don't even know what to call this. It's an art piece. Donald Trump from the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. All he likes talking about is this assassination attempt. It's completely weird. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, said, it's a weird-ass cult. And after you watch this, you'll get why he said that. Take a look.
This iconic piece of art is a testament to the unwavering resilience of President Donald J. Trump and the strength of the American spirit. This 9 3/4 inches tall, bronze-painted statue reminds us we must fight, fight, fight in order to reclaim the America we once knew for our children and grandchildren. Don't miss the chance to own your very own art piece immortalizing this historic moment of God's protection over our 45th president, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I would say Ron pretty much nailed it. And Donald Trump posts things like this. Trump endorsed by Jesus Christ next to a photo of the Holy Bible. And this whole Bible thing that Donald Trump is selling a Bible, remember that? Well, it's obviously a massive grift because there was this report from the Oklahoman, and they got the story from Oklahoma Watch, an incredible nonprofit organization doing great work in the state. This Oklahoma superintendent, Ryan Walters, he's this Christian nationalist superintendent in the state. He's pushing to put more Bibles in the classroom. And so he is basically demanding that these public schools, and this is a problem to begin with, that these public schools purchase 55,000 Bibles. But that's not all. He set these strict requirements on the Bibles that they have to purchase. So he didn't specifically say you have to buy Donald Trump's Bibles, but he set these requirements to make it so that no other Bible exists in the world with these requirements except for one, coincidentally, Donald Trump's. He says the Bibles must be the King James Version. They must contain the Old and New Testaments. They must include copies of the Pledge of Allegiance, the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, and must be bound in leather or leather-like material. So basically just took exactly what was in this Donald Trump Bible that he is selling and made that the requirements so that the school would ultimately be forced to purchase 55,000 Trump Bibles. I mean, the grift does not end, and they might want to read that copy of the U.S. Constitution that is in that Trump Bible if they still left that amendment in there, I will say. Remember when Kamala Harris made this incredible little ad? They said, we updated Trump's desperate Bible stunt with some context. Watch the video put out by the Harris campaign.
All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book.
the forceful removal of peaceful protesters to clear the way for the president to hold a photo op at St. John's Church.
2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's the whole ball game.
At a verse that you like.
I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the...
We love God, and we have to protect anything that is pro-God.
And they are on fire with their videos lately. They're doing such an incredible job. Here's a video that the Harris campaign put out. They say, Vice President Harris is working around the clock to deliver disaster relief. Trump called for nuking hurricanes.
We have mobilized more than 1,500 federal personnel. We have food, water, and generators that are ready for deployment. I'm also announcing that the president has approved the governor's request for 100% federal reimbursement of local costs.
Someone drew on an extra part, very clumsily there, to make it appear as if Alabama might also be in the storm's path, which it wasn't.
The president suggested bombing a hurricane on multiple occasions. Briefers reportedly told the president, we'll look into that.
We will continue to do everything we can to help you recover and to help you rebuild, no matter how long it takes.
This is a tough hurricane, one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Some more big news from this week. I'm not sure if you've heard, but on Friday, the Arizona Teamsters have announced their endorsement of Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz, once again rebuking the decision of the National Teamsters not to endorse. The Arizona Teamsters represents more than 9,600 members. That is really, really good news, showing more worker support. Vice President Harris is also going to appear on the Call Her Daddy podcast. That is very smart, just a very smart way to reach people. This campaign is doing a top-notch job. Silicon Valley venture capitalist Ben Horowitz, who had previously endorsed Donald Trump in July, has decided that he is dumping Donald Trump. He is done with Trump, and instead he is supporting Vice President Kamala Harris. This was a big deal. This made a lot of news when he endorsed Trump back in July, but now he is on Team Kamala Harris, and he says he plans to make a, quote, significant donation to Kamala Harris's campaign. He says he's very encouraged by her stance on tech. Lastly, I just got to show you this incredible ad. I just love it so much. It's a new ad from the Harris campaign that highlights the Republican officials who are endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris.
Of 100 Republicans who worked in national security for Presidents Reagan, both Bushes, and for President Trump, now endorsing Harris for president.
She came up as a prosecutor, an attorney general, into the Senate. She has the kind of character that's going to be necessary in the presidency.
Vice President Harris is standing in the breach at a critical moment in our nation's history. We have a shared commitment as Americans to do what's right for this country. This year, I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former generals, secretaries of defense, secretaries of the Army, Navy, and Air Force, CIA directors, and National Security Council leaders under Democratic and Republican presidents, Republican members of Congress, and even former Trump administration officials agree there's only one candidate fit to lead our nation, and that's Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Powerful stuff. I mean, it seems like the Vice President Harris campaign, it seems like they're doing everything right, and they are approaching everything with joy and optimism, and they are staying true to the American spirit, while Donald Trump continues to just get more deranged, more unhinged, and he tends to hate when things are going well for Americans. It's why he wants to constantly present this dystopian view of America, try to make everybody miserable, tell everybody everything sucks, lie about the hurricane response. It's all connected. All of these things are connected. He wants to be the guy who comes in and says, only I can fix it. But I think people are smarter than that. I think the and the joyous energy from the Kamala Harris campaign is quite contagious. And as people are feeling the effects of the improvements in the economy, and they are seeing this data, and they are going out there and having a good time with their friends and family, I think it completely flies in the face to Donald Trump's message of doom and gloom. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Remember to subscribe. We're on our way to $3.5 million. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.